Hello everyone, welcome to the final match of the 2012 Pruitt's Match Play Invitational. This event was an invite only. It was sponsored by Pruitt's Furniture, so we would definitely like to give a thanks and a shout out to Roger Sensing and Pruitt's Furniture. To any of you ever looking for any type of furniture, make sure you find your local Pruitt's. They have multiple locations all over the valley, so make sure you find them and support them because they have supported bowling for quite a while in the area. So as I was saying, this event was invite only. It invited the top 27 players. The top 3 were actually not invited. Those 3 players had already won event exemptions based on the season-long payout. The next 24 players after those 3 were invited to today's event. In the case that any of the players were not able to attend, we filled those spots based on the season points going further down the list. The top 8 players in season points that were invited got 2 rounds of buys this evening. The top 4 got 3 rounds of buys. It is a double elimination match play format. All of the final participants, if they'd started from the very beginning, have bowled anywhere from 8 to 9 games plus 2 minutes of practice in between each round. So the buys were a huge advantage. The top 3 finalists were all players that had buys. The person who won our winners bracket was one of the top 4 that got 3 buys, and the person that won our losers bracket in this final match was one of the gentlemen that got 2 buys. So it's very clear based on the results that the buys were very valuable, and the buys were well earned as these players had great seasons. They weren't good enough to finish in the top of our points, but they were still great seasons to get the buys. Today's champion will get 4 event exemptions. This means they'll be seeded into the quarterfinals of whatever event they would like. They can do that 4 times. So it's basically free money and a free chance at $1,000. Very huge value there. The runner-up will get 2 event exemptions of their choice. The event exemptions cannot be used on majors, but they can be used in any other event. So with that said, let's meet our 2 finalists. Alright, the first player that we're going to introduce today is coming out of the losers bracket. He received 2 buys in this tournament, which means that he was seeded into the 4th round of the tournament. His first match was against Jeff Brackett. He beat Jeff 213 to 203 in a very close match. He then bowled Hokie Begay. Hokie was seeded into the round as one of the top 4 players that got 3 buys. He defeated Hokie 201 to 181. And then our number 2 seed was defeated by David Kurlan in the 6th and final round of the winners bracket, 221 to 190. This meant that he was seeded directly into the final round of the losers bracket since he lost the very final match of the winners bracket. He would eventually bowl Ben Spencer in the final round of the losers bracket, and he would defeat Ben 240 to 178. Your number 2 seed coming out of the losers bracket is Charles Kremer. Charles will be getting 26 pins of handicap. Most of the people here at the tournament call him Chuck, so that's how his name will be displayed there on the scoreboard. Now let's get to our number 1 seed. Alright, our winners bracket bowler has been very, very consistent, which for the lane conditions today and this format is very key to be consistent. It's 1-game matches from beginning to end. Prior to this match, his low game with handicap was 221 and his high game was 228. So it's only a 7-pin difference. He got 3 buys as the number 3 seed. His first match was against Tom Large. He defeated Tom 228 to 202. The next round he bowled Ben Spencer and defeated him 224 to 204. He then bowled your number 2 seed, Charles, in the final round of the winners bracket. He defeated Chuck 225 to 190, as I mentioned earlier. He then waited for the losers bracket to finish to see who he would face for the title. As we all know now, he's going to be taking on Chuck. Your number 1 seed, as you may have already figured out, coming out of the winners bracket is David Kurlan. And David will be getting 12 pins of handicap. For those of you that aren't familiar with this format, double elimination match play, all of the matches today, including this one, has been 1 game. That's it, including handicap. Since we're at the final match here, David has come out of the winners bracket, Chuck has come out of the losers bracket. This means that David only has to beat Chuck once to win the title. However, Chuck has to beat David twice to win the title. So please keep that in mind. And now we're going to get down to the lanes and get these guys started and see who is going to win the 2012 PMI title. Here we go.
Poison tip is in there. Pretty sure with like the 20 you shot at him, there's still something left.
Come on, buddy. Come on, Trap.
Alright, that brings our final match here for the 2012 Pruitt Match Play Invitational to a close. It started off very close there. It looked like it was going to be a tight one, kind of going back and forth, both of them opening early, nobody really throwing a double. It was clear there in the 5th and 6th when David doubled and Chuck opened there in the 6th. That David was starting to build a little bit of momentum. He continued to keep striking, putting together a 5-bagger up into the 10th frame there, and ended up winning the match pretty convincingly, 225 to 190 with handicap. That means David is our first ever Invitational champion. He'll be taking home 4 event exemptions that he can use for the 2013 season. Chuck came in second. He'll be taking home 2 event exemptions that he can use during the 2013 season. I hope you guys enjoyed the match, and as always, I look forward to seeing you guys next time.